Silver is sustaining strategic support. Yes, I got all those S's in the one go. Plus, we're looking at crypto. Have you seen the little springback we've had in quite a few of our favorites? We'll take a look at those too. Look, use the time codes below if you're watching this on the replay. But if you're watching live, man, you get to enjoy every single damn thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main, going out live on X and on YouTube right now. Hit the big red subscribe button and the follow buttons and all that stuff. But in the first 1 minute or so of the show, we do the synchronized slurp. You miss it, don't you? I know you miss it. I try and do it every time I make some content, but let's do it now. You grab a tasty beverage, I grab a tasty beverage, we slurp them synchronously together. It's the slurp heard around the world. Let me know in the comments what you're drinking right now. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, slurp it. Good to see you people. My name is Joe Main. Yes, I have an Australian accent. Some people don't believe I'm Australian. When I lived in the United States, people would keep asking me, are you English? Are you from Britain? I don't have like, g'day mate, how you going? All right, mate? Yeah, it's all right, mate. I don't talk like this, mate. I just talk kind of more like, anyway. Yes, I'm Joe Main. I've been a stacker of precious metals since 2010, a stacker of crypto since 2013. I've worked for 3 major gold and silver bullion dealers here in Australia. You know me, you love my content. Let's do some shout outs and all that kind of stuff. The show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, and Stormrake, stormrake.com, your full service cryptocurrency brokerage. Can you do me a favor, please? Head over to x.com/it's Joe Main as well. Why would you want to do that? Well, because of all the amazing content that I put there as well. Oh, one go, just like a band-aid, one move, right off. And we're going completely live. Let's do some quick shout outs and then we'll get to all the stuff of the day. How's everyone feeling? Feeling a bit better than the day before yesterday, which was not great. But anyway, feel better now. Hi, Mark. I hope you are doing well. Doing better today. Thank you very much. Mark, Florida. Cannot stay, but just want to say hello to you all. I love the fact that you come in, you say hello, and you got other stuff to do. CT from the Lone Star State in Texas. Hello. Good to see you, my friend. Hi, Joe. Hi, everyone. Synchronized slurp. Yay, man. I do agree. And we're going to have so many more people popping in here. Get your shout outs in, get your comments and talk amongst yourself, and we'll just talk about the stuff of the day. Silver has sustained its strategic support. Let's take a look at silver, precious metals, then we'll do Bitcoin, crypto, and all that other stuff as well. Let me go to the panel. We will be talking about BNB, but I'll come back to that one because that's a crypto. You don't want to see that right now. You want to see the precious metals stuff. Yeah, okay. Here is silver on the daily time frame price in USD, $37.90. So we found basically exact support at the 0.236 we were talking about at that $36.90 area, $36.90, $37. I said we want to preferably find support here. It's previous resistance. Great. Previous resistance needs to become support. We had a little bit of a test down there. Luckily, it was a fake out. That's good. Fake out in the upward direction, which is good. And now we just need to hold that. So I just did say in the video from yesterday, if you did see it, it's had a lovely amount of views on YouTube. I wanted to see this kind of thing bounce there and then something like this. We need to clear here. As long as when we clear, close any day, not the spikes, but the closing of the day is preferable. Close any day above that 38.70, 38.80 mark. Okay, this larger move, this thing, ABC, that's invalidated for shizzle. Okay, and that's invalidated, so we won't be seeing lower prices if you can crack above there. For the moment, I'll just remain neutral, 50-50. I mean, my bias to the upside is for silver is, you know, the long term, you know that. $50, $100, several $100, all that. That's where we're going. Price goes up and down in the meantime. I would suggest, though, if you are holding back some dry powder to potentially load up at lower prices, it's maybe not the best idea, okay? If you're not sure, you know, it's better to be on the safe side and dollar cost average. Just averaging your price over time is the best way to do it, okay? You should do that with all your favorite longer term assets like, you know, silver or Bitcoin or that kind of thing. Just dollar cost average, and it's the best way to go. However, I will say if we do crack below here, start doing that kind of thing, we start doing this kind of thing, that then becomes resistance, then yeah, then we're definitely heading bare minimum down to about $35.30. It'll be the top end of this zag zone from this low and this high. So yeah, crack through that 37 and hold through there. Yeah, we're going to 35.30 quite quickly, I would suggest. You guess you could have a double bottom here, but I'd probably lean more towards the top end of this support zone right there. Cool. So still technically in this range, but it's great to see that bounce off that $37 area. Let's do that, please and thank you. Bullish over the longer term for silver. Silver miners very quickly have had a little bit of a rise as well. They've actually risen a little bit more than silver itself. Okay, so we're finding support here. This is the SIL. Okie dokie, SIL. I'll show you on the weekly time frame. It's just easier to do it that way. Look at this on the weekly. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Okay, SIL. All right, the Silver Miners Index. Cool. We're at key resistance here. I don't feel like this is going to be massive resistance. I feel like this gets broken through. We've spoken about it before. You've got some trapped money here. See that in this area here. Support, support, support-ish. Okay, so you've got some previous trapped money that's going all the way back to 2012 though. So most of those people probably would have been shaken out by now. You'd have the absolute, silver supporters still holding. If they bought back here and you're still holding here, you're probably not selling here. Okay, so everyone's probably done their selling around about here, so it's shaken the tree. Okay, so that's why I don't think this probably will act as much resistance at all. I think we just head onwards, pretty much onwards and upwards from here for over the longer term. On average, up and down a little bit, but I don't see, look, it could happen. I just don't see that kind of thing happening. What you could maybe find is something like that. I think that would be the worst thing that would happen to the silver mining index. But yeah, I'm just very confident over the longer term. We're heading up and onwards and upwards and all-time highs and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to leverage your physical silver, okay, you could consider buying the SIL and then watching the ratio of the SIL, the Silver Miners Index, to physical silver, and then you can up your silver stack by just watching this go higher than the silver price is going. So something like this you would want to watch and just follow me. Easiest way to do it. Why would you do it yourself when you can just follow me? SIL to silver. Okay, this is the SIL silver ratio. We are at a key point right there at the 1.4 level. Okay, so as this goes higher, the silver mining stock index stock is outperforming silver spot. So I'm playing a bit of that. When we get to certain areas, I'm going to swap some of my silver miners for physical silver, and then we'll just, go back and forth. That is silver side of things. Let's go to gold. All right. Once again, you're watching Good Morning Stackers. If you've just joined us live, we'll be talking about Bitcoin and crypto, etc. We talk about precious metals too, as we are stackers of silver. We're stackers of Satoshis. We're stackers of skills and stocks and everything starting with S. Here is gold on the daily time frame. USD 3,346 US dollars. Perfect bounce off the bottom end right here. Off the Fibonacci level. Okay, we talked about it here at the $3,312 mark roughly. It's found exact support there, and we're just in a trading range at the moment. I cannot tell you for sure definitely going higher or definitely going lower for here, because no one knows. Particularly what I've been talking about is this level here, 3,355. Once we're back above there, it's literally, I flip like that. Once we're back above here, if we hold that as support, I'm saying, okay, new all-time high coming in gold really soon, in a matter of mere weeks, not matter of months and months and months down the track. While we're below here, I just have to say, okay, no new all-time high coming for gold anytime soon whatsoever, while we're below 3,355. That's all I have to say about that. Clear there. That's a very clear area of major resistance. It was support it actually hasn't kind of remained as support. If you have a look here, actually, now that I see this, it's very interesting. It's remained as main resistance, and it hasn't really acted as support. Because have a look at this. through there, but then didn't bounce off really, okay? Resistance through here, didn't bounce off really. We bounced here, but we haven't bounced here. We got back through, hasn't bounced off. Isn't that interesting? Interesting. I'm doing this as we speak. Resistance, okay, sure. Got through, hasn't bounced off. And this is on the daily time frame. Once again, got through, hasn't bounced off. So once we do that and we get a final bounce off and then a breakthrough, yeah, all-time high for gold coming really, really soon. Cool. While we're below it, can't say it. And you don't want to see anything like that. And as I said before, crossing below 3,270 roughly, you don't want to do that because we'll be talking about lower prices. That's gold. Gold miners. Gold mining index is having a nice little run. Okay, so as I've been saying, very bullish on the gold miners index, and there's nothing telling me that we're not going to break the all-time high. We're on our way to the all-time high, and it will break eventually. Okay, you might faff around a little bit. You might get to their potential double top. Got to see what else is happening on the other indicators. Okay, so for example, now your price action is king. Okay, that's the thing you always look at first, but then you use your indicators like your RSI or your OBV, your on-balance volume, etc., to see what else is going on. Is there sort of momentum waning, etc. But if I show on the monthly time frame, there is absolutely nothing at all telling me that we cannot break the all-time high and continue through with this relative strength index, because you've got a higher high already, okay, and that's now moving in convergence with, you've made a higher high. So that's really good news. If you had have done the following, if you had have pivoted here, head back down here, and then if that had have been lower, okay, you would have had a higher low, a higher high and a lower high, bearish divergence. Then you could have said, ooh, okay, that's not good. Maybe we come back down and visit this kind of area. No, this is full bull at the moment. Full bull for the GDX. I'm expecting a break of the all-time high. Okay, maybe, again, maybe we just find a little bit of resistance. You're probably going to do that at a previous all-time high. I don't think it's going to last long. I think you're going to break through. Where we get to from there, I don't know. But the next major resistance level you would look at would be $100. Psychological value, and also happens to be the 1.618 from this high and this low. So yeah, watch out for $100. Even. Okay, psychological value 1.618. That's pretty easy to see. That's for the GDX gold miners. I'm doing the extra long one today, aren't I? Let's take a look at platinum. Platinum on the daily time frame, priced in US dollars. Nice bounce. Cool. 1,340. Not a lot to say. We've spent a decent amount of time at the top end of the best buy zone. As I've said to you, I just need to see it clear and hold 1,430, then we'll talk higher prices. I'm bullish in platinum over the longer term. Just got to watch out. We're not over even the 0.236 here, so bare minimum got to clear 1380, then clear that 1430. While we're below there, I'll say, yeah, look, you could still come down into the belly of the best buy zone, and you don't want around about 1,215 to be closed below. Okay, then we'd have to talk lower prices. That's it, just in a trading range. Looking good over the longer term. Platinum will be breaking its all-time high eventually. That's $2,300. When that is, don't know, but it will happen because gold's going that way, silver's going that way, platinum follows. Cool. Let's take a look at copper. Copper, I'm adding, I haven't done the gold to silver ratio for a little bit. Gold to silver ratio is at 88. And it's in silver's favor at the moment. It's still in a downtrend at the moment. So gold to silver ratio still in a downtrend from the high back here of about 100 and something back in April of this year. So lower highs and lower lows. That's good for silver holders. We want to see that go down. We want to see silver outperform gold. Cool, because we are silver stackers here mainly. That's gold to silver ratio. Copper. Here is copper on the daily time frame. $4.50. It's just hanging around, faffing around. Not a lot to say. Hurry up and make a decision. Like, it's been like a couple of weeks already. It's like, can you just... It's actually been 3 weeks. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks of hovering around about $4.50 since that move. Big all-time high move back down from $6. Okay, just hurry up and do something. Just like poking it with a stick, meme style. Okay, yeah, come on. You don't want to see $4.20 broken, and you need to see $4.90 broken back above and then become support again. That's it. Do that. Cool. That's copper. Not a lot to say. With the COPX is the copper miners index. Okay, that's still doing quite well. Show you on the weekly time frame. Okay, this is the weekly, doing well. I'm expecting a break of the all-time high. Anything can happen. Let me just pop on the daily. What are we noticing? Anything in particular? Excuse me. You have some potential bearish divergence playing out, I guess. Yeah, that's actually potential. Okay, where you've got here, let's see, that's going to get rid of that. There you go. Yep, I'm showing you right there. I've already done it before. Higher high, lower high on the relative strength index. So don't be surprised if you do see a bit of a move further down. Okay, I like the fact that we're back in the top end of this resistance here in this resistance zone, this blue box kind of area. Okay, we just need to crack through there and then onwards and upwards we go. But watch out, yeah, higher high, lower high relative strength index. Okay, just keep an eye on it, but I'm still in my position, and I'm in my position for the longer term. Again, this is COPX on the monthly time frame. Look at that beautiful kind of pretty much double bottom right there. We've cracked through accumulate. We're just almost breaking out of accumulation range. Okay, and once we get out of accumulation, then you get into public participation, and that's where you can have some larger explosive moves. So I'm happy to hold COPX for the moment until proven otherwise, and I'm up on my position. That is copper, and I do not want to do any of the other precious metals. I think I've done everything that I can do there, except for telling you that you should listen to me when I talk to you. Buy from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, the best bullion dealer in all of Australia. Have 20 or more items in your shopping cart, you get free shipping. Yeah, free shipping. All of the people watching right now who are Australian stackers are like, what do you mean free shipping? I don't get free shipping from my bullion dealer. No, you don't. Why not? Good question. You should ask them that. And I'm not joking. I've worked for 3 major bullion dealers. None of them did free shipping. You know why? Because they didn't have to, because it was never expected. There's never been a business in all of Australia, in all of bullion history, that ever gave free shipping until Perth Bullion Exchange started their business last year in May. And they opened the business day one saying, you deserve free shipping when you have any kind of amount, a certain amount of dollar value or a certain amount of items in your shopping cart. Here's the thing, it's not a dollar value. You don't have to spend $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 to get free shipping. It's a quantity value. Just have 20 or more items in your shopping cart. No matter how much those individual items cost, you get free shipping Australia-wide. Express delivery, sign-on delivery, and it's fully insured, and you don't pay for it. Yeah. Contact your bullion dealer, tell them about Perth Bullion Exchange, and go, when are you guys going to do free shipping? It's been over a year, and you still haven't implemented free shipping? Come on, man. That's why they're the best. perthbullion.com.au. Let's get some quick comments, and then we'll do Bitcoin and crypto, etc. Let's see. Good morning, says Silent Stacker. Good to see you, my friend. Silver looking better than yesterday. DCA is the best way. I do absolutely agree. Morning, Joe. Morning, Jason. It's good to see you. Sean Smith. Hello from Toronto. Morning, Stackers. Yes, hello all. G'day, Lance. How's fatherhood, my friend? Let me know. Your sleep pattern's much better now, I'd imagine. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and crypto. Let's do Bitcoin, crypto. We'll take a look at TOSHI as well. We're going to go back to the panel, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and general crypto, and then we'll take a look at a couple of specific crypto. TOSHI, of course, for the TOSHI fam. And today I'm going to look at BNB. BNB seems to be like leading the pack at the moment, I'll show you why. But let's take a look at Bitcoin. You know you're getting old when you have to do that thing. Oh, man. Let's see. Bitcoin on the Bitstamp exchange price. Okay, here is Bitcoin on the daily time frame, price in USD, 114,000. $218 US. Pop on some indicators. Here's the general state of Bitcoin at the moment. We have found support so far. Okay, so here's the deal now. From this high and this low, let me get rid of a few things for you. We've remained above support so far. So we've bounced so far here. Okay, we're now in the belly of this best buy zone from this high, from this low and this high. So the low of about 98,000 and the recent all-time high of 124,000, basically. We're now in its expected support range, and now we're finding resistance at that expected support range. So we've bounced here, and now if I show you on the 4 hour, we're finding resistance at the top end of that support range. I don't want to see that, okay? That's not what I want. You want that to bust out and hold bare minimum, okay? So not good yet. I mean, the day's not over. The day's just beginning, or the new day's just about to start. Okay, but really I don't want to see that kind of thing. Then we'd be talking possibly a test of $108,000 roughly, and that's the big kicker. You do not want the $108,000 to be broken, okay? That's not a good setup, okay? Because that's getting through major resistance all the way through here, okay? Through there, no, thank you. Cool. But yeah, let's just get through bare minimum that $114,450 area, and gee, what do you know? It happens to be good old Fibonacci. It's that spike there as well. So yeah, got to clear through that bare minimum. Cool. And then you got to get through about 118. So you've got a bit of ways to go. My bias for Bitcoin over the long term is going to $1 million a Bitcoin. It's probably, it's going to $10 million a Bitcoin. It's going to $100 million a Bitcoin, maybe, and way down the track. But $1 million a Bitcoin, what? Less than a 10x move from here. That's easy. Time frame? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Is it in the next cycle? Well, it's not going to be this cycle for sure. Is it in the next cycle or the next one after that? Is it within the next 10 years, for example? I think that's actually really doable. $1 million Bitcoin in the next 10 years? Fine. I would actually probably say if I'm putting just a little bet on it, within the next 8 years. Next 8 years, Bitcoin can be at $1 million. Okay, so you just dollar cost average into Bitcoin is the best way to do it. And I think one of the best ways to dollar cost average into Bitcoin is through Stormrake, stormrake.com. You'll hear more about those guys in just a second at some point. But man, these ups and downs don't really matter too much as long as you're dollar cost averaging. But yeah, look, just for, S and Gs for the general weather report, I really need to see that, close over there and start doing that. Then we'll talk Turkey. But hey, if you get down lower and if this is the top here for this cycle and then we start heading down further, what an amazing opportunity to buy lower, because Bitcoin just continues to go up. Do you think we're in a bull market? Okay, let me just show you. All right, here's Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. Okay, do these little ups and downs really matter? Could we get back to, look at this. Okay, look at this. Look it. Could the following happen? Yes, of course it could. Do I think it will happen? I don't think so, but could the following happen? Could you come back down in the next 6 months? It could be. You never know. You could, bugger off. You could come back down to, I knew that would happen. You could, I can't put a line on it. You could come back down to $70,000. That could happen in the next 6 months. It could. I mean, I don't think it will, but everything's a possibility. But look at this on the monthly time frame. This is Bitcoin on the monthly. This is ridiculous. This is your primary trend, okay? Don't worry about the little ups and downs. This is your primary trend is up. Halving cycle, all that kind of stuff. I think it's pretty much programmed. Could be wrong. Black swan events. Some people will say, no, it's over and we're done and dusted now. It's down forever. Hey, sure, you could be right, but on balance of probability, it's looking like, I think, $1 million of Bitcoin in 8 years, doable for me personally. You do you. So do these little, I'm really waffling on here, do the little ups and downs in these price movements really make too much of a difference? No, just dollar cost average and you'll be happy in the longer term, okay? Owning Bitcoin for me is now like owning gold. Everybody should own 10% of their wealth in gold, you should own 10%, bare minimum, just 10% of your wealth in Bitcoin as well. And it's the best way to do it, just dollar cost average. Now, if we're talking altcoins, different story, because there's a lot more risk versus a lot more reward. But Bitcoin is the digital gold in that fact. You should own some. And I'll do it now. If you want to own some, which I think you should really head over to Stormrake, stormrake.com. Stormrake.com is a full-service cryptocurrency brokerage that does everything for you. Now, as a crypto native, you can do it yourself if you want, but here's the problem. If you want to buy up big, well, you need really deep liquidity to buy in one go, or whole bunches of lots of goes. You might be putting in your self-managed super fund. You might be dropping a whole bunch on Bitcoin in one go, but you don't want that to then raise your price really, really quickly. So your average price, you need access to deep liquidity. Now, you need deep liquidity on the buying side. You really need deep liquidity on the exit side. When Bitcoin goes to $1 million a Bitcoin, how much Bitcoin do you have at that time? How much have you saved in that time? Do you want to have to sell it over a period of like 3 to 6 months, just little bits at a time as it's going down? Or do you want to do it in a larger go? You might need stormrake.com for that deep liquidity. Okay, that means you can sell it and it won't tank the price. Okay, now, for a 3% fee, full service cryptocurrency brokerage, that's a bargain. However, if you sign up with my link, you don't get it for 3%, you get it for 2% for the life of the account. It's a 33% discount on stormrake.com's brokerage fees, and plus, they don't charge you any hidden fees, okay? There's no secret buy and sell spread fees with stormrake.com. They just charge you a flat fee, 2% with my link. And then that's it. Yeah, buy, sell, with access to the best available pricing, no hidden fees, no surprises. Okay, they're not making little extra bits of money because Bitcoin's at $100,000 or Bitcoin's at $1 million, and they're selling the Bitcoin to you for $1,050,000. Okay, they're not adding the little cream on the top, and they're not taking away some little cream on the bottom when you're selling. Okay. No hidden spread fees as well. Anyway, that's Stormrake, stormrake.com. They're bloody amazing. And as a crypto native, you should sign up. But as a someone who's a crypto novice, or if you have friends and family that are crypto novices, they can't do it themselves. You need to give them the gift of Stormrake, stormrake.com, and give them the gift of my link. Okay, I'll put a link somewhere. Type that in the address bar of your favorite browser and get them into crypto through Stormrake, because they'll only pay 2%. You're already paying like 1.75% to do it yourself on Coinbase. Why do it yourself for an extra 0.25%? 0.25%, for an extra 0.25%, just get Stormrake to do it all for you. Full service cryptocurrency brokerage, stormrake.com. Let's go to general altcoins. Here is others on the daily time frame, price in USD, and a market cap, market cap 295 billion. We've seen a nice spring back. We're not out of the woods just yet, but it's a nice spring back. Okay, this is what you really needed to see really quickly. Luckily, we've done that. On the 4-hour time frame, we've smashed through some levels. That's great to see. We're just not out of the woods yet, but let's talk about the positives. So we were here. Man, it just loves to fake you out, to try and shake you out. If you look on the 1-hour time frame, here's what we did, which was fantastic, and then here's what it did to you, or to the general populace, to try and freak you the F out, and it did it, okay? Look at this. All right, so the lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower low. We found that exact basically support at the bottom end of the zag zone. It was at that uptrend line. Okay, we'd also gone into we'd had bullish divergence on the relative strength index as well. So all signs were pointing to a bounce from here instead of a further move down. You always have to be careful though. You didn't want to start closing days below here. And what did crypto do to F everyone over? It did the following. It broke back above. Now this is, you can't really call that a pivot, but it broke back above the resistance zone. That was looking really good. Okay, so it broke here, found support, broke back up, broke through that downtrend line. And what did good old crypto do? It decided to F everyone over and fake you out big time. On the 1 hour time frame, we broke back down, came down to here, right smack on the 0.618, the bottom end of the zag zone. Okay, it got a whole bunch of people offside, and a bunch of people would have gone, oh no, we were just here, we're back here again, oh no, we've broken through. And then crypto goes, sucked in, bro. And they get all these people panic selling here, and then it goes, thanks very much. So great news, we're back above. So now we are making successive, we're making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so we've made a higher high. Here's something I'll show on the 4 hour. This is really positive on the 4 hour, because what we're now setting up for is called a non-failure swing reversal pattern. Okay, it's the most where's the word? It is the most it's the most bullish of all the reversal patterns. There's 3 reversal patterns. You've got a double on the way up, you've got a double bottom, you've got a failure swing, you've got a non-failure swing. Let me show you what that is very quickly. This is all the stuff I'm learning, by the way, at Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. I'm doing their 12-month comprehensive course. Lower high, so lower high, lower low. Let me start that again. Lower high, lower low. There's a higher high there, but it got faked out. Equal, so lower high, lower low. Here's what was great. If we did the following, we did that, that, and that, that would have been called a failure swing, okay? Because here's this high right here was not broken. So you made a lower high first, then a higher low, and then you broke through. What we've done though, if you can call this a pivot point, which I think you probably could, this is a potential non-failure swing where you're actually breaking the previous high first. So you're making a higher high. Then what we want to see is a higher low. Then if you do that, game on. Now, if you want to be really conservative with it, some people might say, Joe, I think that's the pivot point. So if you want to do it there, okay, that's fine. So maybe we haven't made the non-failure swing yet. But if you do something like this, then that, and then particularly through, and where does that coincide with? Coincides with previous resistance, coincides with the top end of the zag zone. So that's that 300 billion. Chef's kiss. You break through 300 billion with others, I'm basically going to say this is the start of the new journey up. Okay, that would be ultra bullish. To be really certain, you want that $310 billion area, but we're looking really good so far. You just have to be aware that we are coming up to resistance here. You don't want the following, that kind of thing. That would be bad. You do that, that is very bad. Get out, get out, get out. I would very highly suggest you get out. But looking good at the moment. Cool. Positive for altcoins in general at the moment. Let's take a look at some individuals. And we'll go to my favorites. We'll go to TOSHI because I did say I would do that. And it's had a nice little move. Cool. Alrighty. Here is TOSHI on the daily time frame price in USD 00072. We've had a beautiful spring back up roughly 20% since the bottom that we talked about. Now, we talked about on an X post yesterday. And let me show you. I'll just draw in all these little things that we were talking about here. There's your fib retracement and all that. Great. So we were talking about the fact that we had... So it's really good news. Short answer, it's good news for TOSHI at the moment. We broke out of that downtrend line. We came back down to the very bottom end. And I said you really needed to bounce right here. No lower than here, please. Why? Because it's the Fibonacci from this low and this high, and it's the bottom end of the support range or the zag zone. If you break through the 0.618, that signals weakness. Okay, we've bounced perfectly. So what I said is we need to bounce here and we need to bare minimum get over back through this downtrend line, the one that goes all the way back to May. Okay, have to bare minimum get over there. And then I did say you really want to crack back above the top end of the zag zone, top end of this blue purple zone right here, and hold that as support. Well, we've cracked through it. That's really good. Now, here's a real positive on the 4 hour. like I was showing you just before on the others market, what we've actually done on TOSHI is we have made a potential non-failure swing, which again is very positive, because what we've done, we've been making lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, like straight out of the bat with a higher high, and then we probably will make a lower low. We're going to see a little bit more of a retracement. Okay, we're going to bounce somewhere. You want to bounce somewhere around about here-ish at about 0.00069, something like that. Then when you do that, what that is, that's a non-failure swing pattern. It's the most bullish of all the reversal patterns. Looking good. If you break through roughly that, 0.00075, remember that we talked about? Then you're looking really, really good for TOSHI. So far, so good. Potential non-failure swing pattern. Just got to be aware. On the hourly time frame, we have gone into extremely overbought. So yeah, expect a bit of a dip from here. Don't want to see a dip anywhere below, preferably about 0.0069-ish. Cool. So far, though, so good for TOSHI. If I show you on the daily time frame and we just zoom out a bit, nice little move. Look. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So far, so long as it remains. So that's an uptrend. Higher highs and higher lows, you're in an uptrend. So you're fine for the moment. Just really want to get above. Yeah, there you go. There's your 0.00075. Get above there and hold above there. Golden. Okay, on the weekly time frame. Yeah, nice little spike. It's got to clear that 0.0075 area, okay, in order to say onwards and upwards. And on the monthly looks good. Monthly looks fine. Okay, I would love to see it make a higher high on the monthly time frame, maybe through that, 0.001 area, but we'll get to there eventually, I think. Looking good so far for TOSHI. Let me know if you are still in TOSHI fam. That's the quick TOSHI update. Let's go to BNB. This is what I wanted to show you. It's showing some lovely relative strength against Bitcoin in particular. So, give you an example. Here is TOSHI. What are you noticing on the daily time frame? Just look at the price action, okay? Just look at the price action, higher highs, higher lows, etc. Are we anywhere near, some all-time highs? No, we're not. Okay, let me show you a different one. Let me show you a random one. Crow, okay? I'm just going to go through my random list here. This is Crow on the daily time frame, okay? Let's go to Doge. Here is Doge. Just look at the pattern, okay? There's Doge on the daily. I'll even show you on the weekly. Right, there's Doge on the weekly. Here is DOT on the weekly. Just look at the patterns, okay? Just take a quick little look. EGLD, ENA, okay? There's that, okay? Look at all those. Let me show you BNB. Where are we? Ooh. Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, this is BNB on the weekly time frame. Price in USD, 868 US dollars. BNB is the Binance chain coin. Okay, it's Binance coin. Okay, Binance, the largest. Well, is it still the largest? It probably is still the largest cryptocurrency exchange in all of the world, and we're at all-time high territories already with Bitcoin, having its bit of a dip. General altcoins having a dip. Look how strong BNB has been against them all. So I would imagine, now could I be wrong on this? Absolutely. I would imagine if Bitcoin continues up and altcoin market continues up, why would BNB not continue up? It's incredibly strong. Let me show you. Look at the strength of this, okay? This volume is just ridiculous, okay? It's just been maintaining for a long, long time. It's looking pretty good. Now, I will say the volume on the bearish case for it, which we could be, you're always going to look at that. The bearish case is the volume is not supporting the move just yet. So what that means is you can see that we're getting some, this is on the weekly time frame, we're having some higher highs. So we do need to look at the other side of the coin here. Higher highs, but we're not making sort of successive higher highs. We're not breaking resistance yet on the OBV. So that could be saying that the volume is lagging. I will say also though, on the relative strength index, you could say that's making successive higher highs. We haven't broken a new high yet on BNB on the relative strength index. Okay. So this could be, as I look at it, I love the fact that it's been relatively relatively strong against Bitcoin. Let me do something. RSC very quickly. Relative strength. Let me do that, and I'm going to do that, and I'll check that. Is that against? That's against Forex. Let's go BTC USD. We'll do that on the Bitstamp exchange. Cool. So this is the relative strength against Bitcoin. Okay, as it's green, that's a good thing. You do want it to get back over here. Okay, so BNB, I like the fact that it's been relatively strengthy against Bitcoin. Watch out for a couple of things. Maybe I'm contradicting myself now. I saw the price, but now that I'm looking at the indicators, I go, okay, couple of signals to say just watch out. Okay, again, OBV needs to start matching. Okay, now it can catch up, and that's fine. The relative strength index, that's one that gives me pause for reflection. Some people might say that, well, look, you've had that move here. It's it's basically reset. So that's something you don't have to worry about. Okay, there are experts better than me. But I think BNB is looking quite strong at the moment. Something you might want to consider. It is the coin of Binance, world's largest exchange. I don't see it going anywhere. So anyway, that is Binance Coin. Let me know what you think. Do you have BNB in your crypto stack? Let me go to... I've already talked about Stormrake, stormrake.com, and I won't do my what I learned this week section. I actually did my what I learned this week segment on Tuesday. I usually do it on Thursdays. I did it on Tuesday's live show. What I'm doing is I'm doing the Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com full 12-month year-long comprehensive program. I'm learned to be a full-on trader. Okay, I'm in week 4 or week 5. Okay, I've already learned so much. Some of this stuff has been a refresher for me because I've been, doing this amateur for quite a long time. Already, though, I've been, man, the week that we did the on-balance volume, I'm still wrapping my head around that. So I'm learning so much already. This week we did relative strength index, bullish and bearish divergence signals. Okay, as you know, on my channel, I've been talking about that for a long time. So that was a lovely refresher, and I did still learn extra stuff. Okay, looks like they've got their next course starting in 53 days. Okay, I'm assuming that's going to be the 10-week foundational course. So if you just want to do a short version, do the Dow Theory Principles and Technical Analysis Foundations course. That's actually what I'm doing right now. The first 10 weeks of the 12-month program is this 10-week course. Okay, so I'm doing that, and then I get to do all the added extras later on in the other 3 terms. But consider signing up for the Dow Theory Principles and Technical Analysis Foundations course and Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. Or if you don't want to do a course, don't. Just go to academy.masteringthemarkets.com and sign up. Oh, look at that. Sign up for their free version. Okay, anything you see here in the general community section is all free for you as a free member. Okay, anything below that, the Mastering the Markets Academy, the educator calls, the multiple live streams every single week with the educators in the course. Okay, anything below there, that's all part of the paid subscription. Okay, but for what you pay, it's $250 a month. For what you pay for what you get, man, it is so good. Okay, so you don't have to do a course, but consider signing up for academy.masteringthemarkets.com. And you'll get posts like this. This is from ASX Trader, the head of the school, talked about CSL, and all he's put is one word, CSL in. Oh, he's saying he's in CSL. Okay, so what he's saying on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so ASX Trader in the last couple of minutes has said CSL. If you check out CSL, it's a stock on the ASX. It looks like he's just gotten in on a change of market structure on the 15-minute time frame. There you go. You get these live or almost live calls as such. So he said, I'm in this based on the 15-minute time frame, a break of market structure. So now let's go look at that. All right, let's do that. CSL, real quickly. That's, by the way, that's Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. You should sign up. Let's go back to here. Okay, here is CSL on the weekly time frame. I'll get rid of all that for you. So CSL had a massive dump just in the last couple of days because their earnings report came out and it wasn't as favorable as it could be. And so it's had a big dump and a lot of people panic sold. Okay. And ASX Trader was looking for an entry on the smaller time frames. It looks like he got in, looks like he got in around about $220 roughly. Now I'm looking at the non-updated price. So yeah, if I go to the 15-minute, the price hasn't opened yet. So what you can see, the difference is there. So this is here on the 15-minute time frame. So he was looking for an entry on a break of that level there of $222 because that says that's breaking, or it's changing market structure. You're now getting higher highs on the 15-minute time frame. Now he's hawking it, meaning he's looking for an ultra low time frame entry so that he can ride the larger move potentially up. Because if you look at that on the daily, that's a huge move. But look at that. Yeah. So he's nabbed it at roughly $222. And that's opened. So the price is higher now because I've got a delayed feed. You can see very clearly it's already open because he's got a live feed. So interesting. I'm going to find out where the price is right now, and let me tell you. Give me 1 second. You can't see this. I'm going to check my thing. We'll get to some final comments. Do you have any particular requests? Let me know. I'll see if I have some time to do a quick live look at the price of something. You can't see what I'm looking at right now. Just give me 1 moment. Okay. Ooh, that's good. CSL, where are we? CSL is at $224.50. Yeah, so we've definitely broken through on that time frame. Fantastic. So looks like the bottom could be in for CSL. What is CSL, by the way? CSL is CSL Limited, and over here, if I just show you, it's one of the largest players in the healthcare sector, I believe it is. They pay a dividend as well. It's a small dividend. It's 1.88%, the last payout. You can't see that, but I'll show you here. I'll just quickly read to you what they do. CSL, biopharmaceutical company which engages in the manufacture, marketing, and distribution of biopharmaceutical and allied products. It operates through the following segments: healthcare. Cool. Looks like ASX Traders nabbed it and nabbed a nice little low price. So he's obviously bullish on it. Cool. That's Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. That's the kind of stuff that you can learn over there. Let's do some. Aha, brilliant. Daniel has asked from Stormrake, stormrake.com. Daniel is one of the amazing traders at Stormrake. I would be keen to know your top layer 1 picks. Does it include any of ETH, Sol, HBAR, or SUI? Great question. I will do that for a separate video. Actually, I'll probably do that. I like Sol. I love SUI. Okay, SUI is a great one. And SUI holds up very well against Bitcoin. It has a lot of good relative strength as well. But yeah, I'll do a separate crypto video specifically about my favorite layer 1s and stuff like that. So that's a great topic idea. Thank you, Daniel. Much appreciated. Nakas O'Reilly says, looks like crypto has gone up a bit. Is this the start of a trend? Could be. Let's see. It's been a beautiful few days in Melbourne, deciding if I should do footy tomorrow night at the G. Go to the footy tomorrow night at the G. Why would you not? Let's go back a bit. Let's see. Steve says, you do a great job informing the people. Well, thank you very much. So, Lance, you're currently down in Melbourne, right? You took Walter for his first flight the other day. That's great. Isn't fatherhood fantastic? G'day, legend, says Jason Rosana. It's been a bit. Trust you are all well. We are well. Thank you, mate. Some more comments, then we shall get out of here. Any particular chart requests right now? Again, I'll do an individual video on my favorite layer 1 picks. Let's see. Welcome. Yes, welcome, my friend. Welcome, Tepe Savas. Welcome, my friend. I think we're probably at the end of the show. We've had a lot of people talking. Do I have any other crypto I want to talk about? Let's see. Yeah, we don't need to do Solar, HBAR, or SUI, or ETH right now. Generally, though, you know what? I really should be doing ETH. I'm going to go back. I really should probably be including ETH in my general crypto talk these days. Don't you think? Bitcoin alts, but really should be Bitcoin, ETH, and alts. Let me have a quick look at Ethereum. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Here is Ethereum on the daily time frame, priced in USD 4,313. I'll show you on the weekly time frame. Wow, look at that on the weekly. Is there anything else I really need to say? Nope, not really. There you go. That's the whole entire analysis for Ethereum. There you go. There's Ethereum on the weekly time frame. Does that look bad? I don't think so. I mean, look, we are coming up to previous all-time high. You would have to expect some potential signals. Okay, so let's have a look. This is on the monthly time frame for Ethereum. I mean, come on, man. Look at this. This is pretty damn golden. Here is Ethereum on the quarterly time frame. It looks great. Here's Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Oh, look at that. Can you imagine going to Stormrake, stormrake.com, calling your broker or emailing them when the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio was down here, and you said, oh, I like the fact that it's back above here. It's made the first monthly green candle since April of the year before. Okay, we've been in this massive downtrend. Oh, gee, double bottom, green candle. We've opened the month green. We opened the quarter green. I think I might call stormrake.com or send them an email and tell them I want to buy a whole bunch of Ethereum when you saw the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio there. And, you know, you got it for my special referral link for 2% brokerage fees. Mate, come on. Look at that. What a huge move. Okay, so look at this. You're coming up to, you are, look, I'll from a technical perspective, you are coming up to some resistance now on the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. Okay, so as this number goes up, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Again, they can both be going up in dollar value. It's just one's outperforming the other. So you are coming up to some resistance here. All right, we've had a beautiful move. So now from this high and this low, which is the correct ones to use, watch out for some resistance here. Excuse me, and it's anywhere between the 0.382 and the 0.618, and you've got some trapped money right here. Okay, so you've got people who bought the dip here. They saw the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio and went, oh man, I'm going to snap up a whole bunch of Ethereum here. Oh, I was so correct. Oh crap. Oh, we're back down here. Okay, I'll buy some more here. A bit of a double dip. No problem. Double bottom here. Oh crap. So you will have to expect some people who got in around about here to start getting out there because they want to break even on their again, this is a ratio. They could have made a whole bunch of money in the upward direction. It's just they're seeing the ratio get back to where they originally got to, so they may consider getting out of Ethereum and swapping maybe back for Bitcoin at that stage. Okay, so you just have to expect some kind of psychological profit taking. Again, it's a ratio somewhere in this part right there. Once we get through there, well, there's not a lot to say. You know, you get through there and then we'd be looking really good, and of course break through there. Then we'll be talking what I originally believed earlier on in the years previous. I actually believed, and I do still believe, from this high, let me show you, with the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio, I've been talking about for a really long time, years and years and years, the quarter level. So right here, if I get rid of that for you, let me just get rid of, not that one, that one. Okay, I'm going to take it from this high and this low, and you'll see, I think 1/4 of, so Ethereum can be worth 1/4 of a Bitcoin. I think that's really doable, and it's right here at the 1.618 from this high and this low. So let me put it this way. If you can break through here, that's right there. If that's a massive accumulation range, let's call that accumulation, right? If you can, ignore the time frame, ignore the pattern, right? But if you can break through there, start holding above, that's roughly 0.08, okay? Then I'm going to say you're probably making a play for 1/4 of a Bitcoin. Can you imagine one Ethereum being worth roughly 1/4 of a Bitcoin? That's huge. That's a huge move from here. I think that's really doable in later on down the track in a massive crypto run. Okay, when Ethereum just, that would mean general altcoins versus Bitcoin. Okay, I really do see that. That would be a massive area of resistance, though. So bear that in mind. You're not going to shoot to half. You're not going to shoot to 1-to-1 ratio with Bitcoin. That's probably never going to be a thing. But yeah, a quarter of a Bitcoin, that is doable. And I would expect massive swapping at that point. Cool. Anyway, that's Ethereum, Bitcoin ratio, and Ethereum price. Look at it. This is on the monthly time frame. It's looking good. If I just show you, got to look at the other side of it though. Let's have a quick look at the indicators. On balance volume, it's lagging a little bit. Okay, you do preferably want to see what you see. I'm rambling now. What you can see here is you've broken resistance. You haven't done it yet on the on-balance volume. You really need that to catch up pretty soon. So something you'd want to watch if you start seeing higher prices, which I think we'll get in Ethereum. Pick a point, right? Just pick a point. If you start seeing higher prices in Ethereum on the monthly time frame, but then you just got to watch out that you don't find resistance here on the on-balance volume, because if you're getting higher highs but finding resistance there, then that might tell you, okay, we're bouncing here we're rejecting here. That means you'd look for a rejection in the price as well. But I can see higher prices for Ethereum coming, no problem at all. And what kind of higher prices are we talking? Well, if we just do some Fibonacci from this high and this low, okay, the next major areas to watch out for, the 1.618, and that's at your $7,200 level, and then your 2.618 at 11,100. Comfortably call it your $10,000 psychological value, but what tends to happen is things tend to go higher for longer. So yeah, I could see the $10,000 barrier broken, and then people go, oh, we're going to 15, 20,000, whatever, and then you find some resistance at the 11,000 kind of mark. So watch out for that. 7,200 and 11,000 looking pretty darn good at this stage, and as you can see on the monthly time frame, we have hit that previous all-time high. Did we do that on the high? Yes, we did at 4,800. I think the all-time high will be broken. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That is Ethereum. Glad I could do that for you. Final comments, and we shall get out of here. Yes, ETH slowly coming back after a big dump. Yes, I do agree. Try to get Brett to serve you. He's usually oh, you're talking about BN. Brett is a legend. Brett was, I trained Brett. So as you know, again, I've worked for 3 major gold and silver bullion dealers since 2013. I joined my first bullion dealer. And then since then, I've worked for 3 major bullion dealers, and I've seen a lot of employees come through. I trained, and Kanal will say it, I trained Kanal, the store manager at Goldstackers in Melbourne. Kanal was one of our newer employees, so actually I trained him up on how to do everything. This is how you do this is the POS, this is how you do the thing. So he's now the store manager there. When Brett came through as a new employee at Bullion Now, I trained Brett on took him through the ropes and all that. He's now the store manager at Bullion Now as well, doing absolutely great guns. When you walk into Bullion Now, you know Brett for one of 2 reasons. Brett's always wearing a vest, and he has a deep voice like this, not like back in the throat, but it's very deep and very commanding. And he's a legend at Brett is. So if you're in Bullion Now, go say hello and say Joe said hi. That's pretty much it, people. You have watched Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. We've done precious metals, we've done crypto, we've done everything that we need to do, except we haven't danced it out and we haven't done the final synchronized slurp. That's what we do, people. Grab your tasty beverages. Don't forget, I go live on Tuesdays and on Thursdays, and you get content in between as well. Some of my pre-recorded content is doing really well. It's getting like thousands of views. So make sure you find those, you like them, you subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm just rambling now. Follow me on x.com/it's Joe Main. Grab your tasty beverage. And yeah, finally, if you want, or if any of your friends and family need help with getting into precious metals for the first time, I do offer precious metals investing strategy sessions. Okay, I'll put a link somewhere below. And, oh, yeah. I'm going to Knackers. Very quickly, we'll get out of here. Okay, okay. He won't tell you this story, but I would love to see the look on his face. He won't tell you this story, but I'll love to see the look on his face if you ask him to tell you about the following story. Next time you're in there, say hi to Brett. Say, by the way, Joe says hi. Joe wants you to tell me about the parachute story. That's all I'll say. His face will probably go a little bit white. It might not go white. He's already white. He's pretty white. He will not tell you the parachute story, but just know that there's something called the parachute story. That's all I'm going to say. So, and that'll be by the way, Joe says hi. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's grab your tasty beverages. We'll dance it out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have watched.
Good morning, Stack. Oh, yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stack. It's podcast time.
Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do that.
Synchronize.
3, 2, 1, go. Slap it. Thanks for watching, people. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I will see you very soon. Have a great day. Bye.